are these graphics cards going to be good or expensive or both, or what the fuck is the deal? All I saw, I woke up and I didn't wake up, but I didn't see any of it, but I just saw people on Twitter talking about dude pulling a graphics card out of an oven, and I said, well, it's probably a pretty hot card then.
Yes, the CEO of Nvidia did the thing from his kitchen, which looked like a very nice kitchen, unsurprisingly, and he pulled the 3090 out of his oven. Okay. He implied that it had been baking for a while.
Okay. Follow-up question: what type of oven was it? Was it like the vertical pull doors, or like the classic?
It was kind of out of frame, but it looked like it was a vertical, or not vertically oriented doors, but the type that the door swings down vertically.
Swings down.
Just
okay.
Kind of pretty standard.
Okay.
Very nice. He had some weird ornamentation behind him. You should go look that up. He had like some kind of relief on the wall behind the stovetop, like a sculpture. It looked like a very nice house. Nvidia is worth more than Intel now, if that tells you anything.
Was it real or was it rendered with RTX?
I don't know. That could have been. Yeah, they announced and I think this is rolling out to all RTX cards. They've got like AI-driven like background fake green screen stuff coming out for Nvidia cards now, like real-time blurring of background, but also just replace it with a 3D scene.
Just practical stuff that everyone needs, I guess, now.
Here I am in my gamer chair floating in space.
Finally.
Yeah. And I think that, like I said, I think that's rolling out to all existing RTX cards as well. All right. Yes, they are very fast. No, they are not that expensive except for the expensive one.
Okay.
So like the 3090 is
so they appear to be doing away with the TI branding entirely and just sticking to numbers just to make things simple.
Smart. Sure.
So it is. Did they announce the 3060? I didn't get to watch the whole stream because I was getting ready for the show. I don't think they announced a 3060 as of yet, but I think those are kind of the entry level part that usually comes a little bit later. They announced 3070, 3080, 3090. 3090 is basically taking the place of the former Titan, or the super high end.
Oh, so that's not even like a fucking realistic car. That's like for lunatics then.
Sure.
I feel like the Titan was always like the fucking you got too much money.
Yeah, but I think those things were usually well over like $2,000 if I'm not mistaken in the past.
Yeah, usually.
But, the 3090 is a 3-slot card. It's got a 3-slot cooler.
What?
Yeah, it's big.
Oh no.
The TDP the TDP on these cards is immense. That's the power draw / heat dissipation rating. The TDP on the 3090 is 350 watts.
Oh shit!
So
that's
significant.
So and that's at full load. That's the most it can draw. But if you think about what kind of power supply do you have? Like I've got a 750 watt.
750, yeah.
I've got an 850 in my server machine because I can see that from here. Yeah. But I think
you're almost certainly fine with something in that range.
Yeah.
But you can just do the math there. That's a lot of fucking powers.
Wow.
So let's see. Like the big thing to know is just like the first gen RTX cards, the 2080 etc. cards were they were a big feature upgrade because they added all the ray tracing stuff and other AI driven anti-aliasing and all that stuff. But they were not much of a performance upgrade.
It's true.
And so this is just the other shoe dropping. It's basically these don't seem to add a ton of new features, but they are dramatically faster than the previous gen.
So this was probably where we get to 4K 60 with ray tracing and all that sort of stuff then, if they're...
Nice. Okay.
They were claiming...
If not more.
They're claiming up to 2x performance increase in some situations. They're saying the 3090 can run 8K 60.
I don't have anything in my house that'll go.
And I'm sorry, how much was the 3090?
So the pricing, the 3090 is $1,500, so that's pretty... I mean, it's not as much as a Titan in the past, I don't think, but it's still pretty fucking expensive. But
that's not that far off from I think what I paid for a fucking 2080 Ti.
2080 Ti was like $1,200 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. But I think the real story is the pricing on the others. A 3080 is only $699.
Okay. Okay.
I think cheaper than the 80 cards have generally been in the past.
Yeah.
Which says
shit.
So it's $499 for a 3070 and $699 for a 3080, and honestly, that says to me that they are wary of whatever AMD has on the way. Finally, because AMD had kind of established hey, we're going to try to make reasonably priced cards that are a good power per dollar, right? I mean, I think so.
Kind of where they were at.
AMD has not been that competitive in the PC graphics card space for a while, but. I mean, the big thing to know there is that AMD's new graphics architecture, RDNA 2, which is what's in the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, like, it is assumed that PC versions of that will be on the way in the somewhat near future, although people don't seem to know exactly when, but, like, this is pretty aggressive pricing by Nvidia's standards because, like, they've been in that space. They've been in that space, like Intel, for a while where they had no real legitimate competition, so they could kind of charge whatever they want.
Yeah.
And now it looks like they are maybe not sweating necessarily, but they're like, well, let's price these to move. So in case that AMD comes out of the gate swinging.
And then what was the deal? I saw there was like a Microsoft blog post in conjunction with this talking about the like direct storage or the like that. Are these graphics cards going to take hard drives?
I didn't get a chance to look into that stuff. I think
it's going to use the same format that the Xbox Series X is going to use. And
Velocity, what is it? The Velocity engine or something like that? What are they calling it?
Maybe not quite that, but like something along those lines.
I saw some scuttlebutt about that. I did not get a chance to follow up on that, so I'm not sure what's up with that.
The idea that like, okay, now we're going to hook a hard drive up to
and this
a graphics card directly.
Hard drive just for the graphics card, right?
I don't know. We'd have to read up on it a little more.
Yeah.
But
anyway, yes.
As someone fairly new to PC stuff, is slapping a hard drive onto a graphics card
that's not a thing?
Okay.
So I'm not sure what's up with that. I'll have to look into that. But
okay, maybe it's not hooking it up. Okay, people are saying like you can just do it PCIe. It's not hooking the drive up to the GPU, says Bogart in the chat. It's just direct access to the storage from the GPU. Maybe like just a faster pipeline.
But both going over the PCIe bus, I guess.
Yeah.
Without going through the CPU, I would guess is what they're talking about there.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I think I'm really getting out of my depth here, but I think once you're doing that, you're talking about like direct memory mapping of like graphical assets from the super fast storage straight to the card. I could be wrong. Anyway, whatever.
Which is more or less what they're trying to do with the consoles. So
yes, that is my understanding. But
so like that's going to have to happen on PC anyway soon enough. So
so 3080 is out on the 17th. The 3090 is out on the 24th. The 3070 will be out next month. So starting to roll out pretty soon. I mean, who knows what the quantity will be, but these things are quite fast. And also quite large and power hungry.
Yeah.
But seems like pretty good stuff.
That's cool.
It's just
seems great.
Pretty much just faster version of what's been out there for the most part. But,
like being priced like relatively. I was gonna say reasonably, but that's still a lot of fucking money. But being priced in that way instead of what these cards were last generation, that's kind of wild. And maybe that'll see like a greater adoption. I'm sure there are a lot of people on 10 series cards and maybe even 9 series cards and stuff like that.
The tone of that presentation, I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but at the end, the CEO was like quite literally like my Pascal friends, Pascal being the 1080 generation, he was like, it's safe to upgrade now. Like he quite literally said that.
I mean the 20 series cards were like you said, here's the feature update, but like it doesn't always run great. Like I've got a 2080 Ti, it's a hell of a card, but it's the ray tracing stuff feels like sometimes you're making some sacrifices.
It's very taxing
when you turn all that stuff on. So if you can get past that end of it, then more developers will take advantage of it. All that other stuff, like that's what leads to more games supporting ray tracing. That and when the consoles start doing it more, like that's something that just gets baked into all these multi-platform ports and all that other shit. And so that's pretty exciting. I don't know. Like that's fucking cool. Like I don't know. I might
like a 3070 being $499 is kind of wild.
Yeah, that's
because it seemed like they were trending in the other direction on that stuff. So it's good to see that.
But I wonder, like there's probably still some case to be made for like, hey, if you are still rocking like a 1080 or something like that, I wonder, are you also rocking a CPU that might need more attention first, or something like that? Sure. Like, would that be the upgrade?
Yeah. If you're still playing games at 1080p, it's possible that 1080 is going to be fine for a while yet.
Maybe, yeah.
It's hard to say. That card, I think, is like that card has maybe punched above its weight class more than like any graphics card in history, I think.
Yeah, the 1080 is
that's what I'm still on one, and it's basically fine.
It's a good ass graphics card.
Yeah, it had longevity for sure. So yeah, that stuff's coming soon. I think they put out a tech demo that I haven't gotten to see yet, but I love tech demos, so I'm gonna have to go find that later.